Today is a good day. Welcome to episode number 17 of Profit or Loss, where I'm going to take this faulty electronic eBay item, attempt to fix it and sell it for a profit to make some cash monies. It's no secret that in recent weeks we have been down in the dumps. However, I've got a really good feeling about today. Let's have a look at what I've bought. I mean, that's just really bad angles, but no, it's not baby nappies. This actually came with a controller as well. Packaging wise, I'd say not too bad. So what do we have? Another PlayStation 5. To be fair, this is awesome. We've got the full shabazz. We've got a digital edition PlayStation 5. They've sent over this black controller, which I think looks absolutely awesome. We've got a HDMI cable as well, a pretty decent one, as well as the power cable. Now, I've done my due diligence and looking up the company information, it shows that they actually just sell second-hand goods. So I don't think this has been to a repair shop. The fault is that it just simply doesn't power on, and I paid a nice round figure of £200 for this console. If I can get this working, we should be looking at a nice profit. Let's go ahead and do our first test, plug it into my known good power lead, and see what happens. There was no explosion. Always a good result. Now, do we get any noises or beeps or anything? No. We get absolutely nothing. Now, in my experience, especially working at the repair shop, any PS5s that come in and have no power have a much higher success rate of fixing rather than those that make a beep or have a light turn on. The consoles that do absolutely nothing when you press the power button, usually it's a good sign. Before we go ahead and get this open, a massive thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring today's video. PCBWay offer many different services for all of your DIY needs. Standard PCBs, advanced PCBs, and even flexible PCBs. And hey, if you wanted to select red solder mask for your PCB, you can. They currently have great special prices on both their flex and rigid flex PCBs. They also offer services such as CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and injection molding. Check out the link in the description for a $5 welcome bonus. Pop in the hood. Is the warranty sticker taken off? Aha, no. Oh, what has happened here then? So someone has been inside this console. That takes our chances of repairing down by at least, I'd say, 20%. I would say the console really smells of smoke. And what they've done is they've clearly lost the black sticky bit that goes over here and they've replaced it with tape. Oh, no, actually, sorry, it's there. They've just taped over it to ensure it's sticky again. Okay. What does that tell me about the previous repair attempt? It actually tells me quite a lot because they care enough to put that back, but they didn't care enough to put the warranty sticker back. Okay, here we go. There's like some white stuff around the sticker. So I'm just gonna pull this off. Jeez, what's going on here? Okay, so they've even put double-sided sticky tape, I think. Take the fan connector out, nice. There's also tape around the fan. What an interesting start. Zooming into this, I don't know if you can see on camera. Does seem to be some like liquid here, wherever that is. First impressions, what are we dealing with? In 3, 2, 1, anything obvious? What? Whoever's worked on this loves tape. We've got tape around here, tape all the way down here to ensure that these wires aren't going anywhere. Oh! Please do not tell me this is why it's not powered on. I'll leave this here, and if you can see why it might not be powering on, I'll give you 10 JDT points. This might be my luckiest fix yet, potentially. I don't know if this is going to resolve it, but it's definitely not going to help the situation. This is the ribbon cable that when you press the button, it turns the console on. This is not connected to the board. If I connect it to the board, zoom the camera out, I am just gonna put that on. And the fan, please, 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 I said I needed some luck this week. If this is the luck that I'm in for, then I'm gonna have a great weekend. In 3, 2, 1. Ah, fan spin, blue light. Does it go to a white light and does it display on our game capture? We have a white light, so it's gone to a white light. That's great news. Now, this actually won't go to my game scene on the Elgato. I need to plug it into another monitor. Disable HDCP, always get that mixed up, and then we can have a look. I've managed to go through all of the setup and I'm in the console. I've updated to the latest console version. I should sign in just to make sure that the console isn't banned. And there we go, I'm all signed in to the PlayStation Store and it seems to be all good. I knew I was feeling lucky today and I don't think you're gonna believe it, to be honest. I promise you I didn't look at this beforehand and I can't help but feel just a little bit bad for the person who sold this console. But I feel less bad because it's a business. I will disclaimer this and just say, this is the best luck I think I've ever received out of the 100 items that I've purchased from eBay. With the controller and all the other accessories as well, it's gonna be quite a nice little profit. I'll get it put all back together, make sure I can play a game on it for 30 minutes to an hour just to make sure it's not going to overheat or anything like that, but I've tested it and it seems to work absolutely fine. That was going to be the only item I was fixing on today's video because when it's a PS5 no power, they usually take quite a long time. However, I do have another little trick up my sleeve. My next item I actually paid a grand total of £40 for. I don't know if this is the original box, but we have a Nintendo Switch Lite. What kind of conditioner we did? Again, it smells of smoke. The console itself doesn't massively smell of smoke. It's more so the bubble wrap and the packaging. So already we are missing 2 of the thumbsticks. The buttons don't feel that I mean, they feel okay, I guess. We seem to have a crack on the bottom as well. Good news is it's got all of the screws and the screen isn't in horrendous condition. Can you see how it pokes out at the bottom though? So this lip here doesn't give me good hope. I imagine that we have something wrong with the charging port, but I'll inspect that further in a second. Supposedly the person I bought it from says that it came in a job lot and it doesn't have any power. But does it have a game? No. That would be way too lucky. What about an SD card? No. Going to inspect the charging port under the scope. Before I go and put the ammeter in the console to measure what type of current we're getting, how does the port look? The port itself, do you know what? The port looks fine. I don't see any issues with that port. Just confirming with the ammeter then, it doesn't actually sit in there properly because of the lip that we have. So I don't know if whether it's just because of that and it's not getting a good enough connection. No, because I think on the back there is that stable connection. Maybe it is a port issue then. Let's take it apart. Let's see if it was just because of that plate blocking it. No, so we still get nothing sharp on the ammeter, so there's definitely something wrong. Initial inspection doesn't look like anybody's been in this, which is obviously a result. I think I'm going to have to take the board out though, because my suspicion isn't actually the charging port, and it's more so M92. However, wait there. Oh, maybe it has been replaced. Let's go over to the scope and inspect quickly. On the face of it like this, it looks like they've done a great job, to be honest. Maybe could have done with a little bit more solder over here to support the ground legs, same with the back ones, but then when you start looking at the actual pins at the back, I don't know what's happening. I can now confirm someone's been in this, but it definitely didn't look like before, so again, they've done a good job to mask that up. Let's go ahead and disconnect this, as well as the battery. Just want to see, yeah, it's definitely flux. Oh wow, that moved about 10,000 miles. Let's get a little bit closer, shall we? And push that, yeah, none of these are connected. None of these are connected at all. And the flux they've used looks like it's gone mouldy. Okay, so yeah, we need to change out this port. Look at this. Oh, it's like earwax. Now we have the motherboard outside of the chassis. Let's take a look under the scope at the back of it. Here's the front of the port, as we've already seen. This is the back. Again, it's not a horrendous job at all. And I credit anyone who attempts to give this kind of stuff a go. It's very difficult. Just needs maybe a tiny bit more solder on the actual ground holes themselves. But nonetheless, looking at this from the back, nice. To be honest, am I going to be able to get away with keeping the same port? Now that I look at this, I think I know why that front bit cracked, and this looks like an actual Nintendo Switch port. So they've tried fitting this in the chassis and that's what's caused it to crack. Here is one of my stock USB-C ports. And yeah, you can see that's exactly what's happened. They've used an original Nintendo Switch charging port, but not shaved it down. So I guess that's a good example of what happens if you don't shave it down. You get the crack on the front of the chassis. And yeah, rather than just stick a new port on, what I'm gonna try and do is reflow it, put some flux on, and then go from there, because again, the port itself looks okay. I do need to quickly check for shorts around M92 and BQ, because otherwise the device ain't gonna work. Meter in continuity mode. Do we have any shorts? So far so good. Yeah. Seems to be okay around M92. What about around the BQ IC? Again, all good. So it must just be a port issue. Let's give this a reflow. Came across a few issues in the soldering aspect that you probably would have just seen, but I'm going to test it and just make sure that it works. If not, we'll be putting our own port in. That's not good, this flash in here. What about the other side? Nothing at all. Okay, well, looks like I'll have to put my own port in anyway. Cue the JDT Nintendo USB-C quick swap charging port guide. Tin the new USB-C port prior to putting it on the board. Plenty of flux and solder. Remove the old manky port that I should have really replaced in the first place. Tin the pads on the board itself, ready to drop in our fresh new port. Always clean as we go. Drop our new port onto the board, and whilst pushing down on the port, move the heat around to ensure that we don't burn any plastic. Go over all the outside pins individually to ensure that we have a good connection, and give it a clean. I know you've all probably seen it by now as well, but my amazing wife actually bought this t-shirt for me. Having the JDT here is just like a little bit of a nice touch, you know? Completely random, but just wanted to point it out. All right, after putting my own port on, still some things that I need to tidy up, but I just wanted to double check and make sure that we're all good. So if we go to put this in. I'll get the same thing. Okay, so, and then other side, no charge, I'm guessing. Right, it's gonna be M92T36 then. I don't have any shorts though, we've confirmed that, but sometimes the chip is a pain. M92T36 changed out. Give me some good news. What do we get? Let's go. Yeah, sweet. 15 volts, 0.02 amps, which is what we're meant to get. That's good. Turn it around and do the other side. Exactly the same. 0.02 amps, 15 volts. Good stuff. All I need to do now is replace the joystick covers, but I'm not going to bore you with that. In which case, you should see the final product now. And just like that, we have our fixed Nintendo Switch Lite. I've just given it an overall clean, to be fair, and yeah, it's turned out really, really well. The 4 buttons on the back of the console are a little bit dirty, but again, I have cleaned them to the best that I can just by using some IPA. And this is what the back of the console looks like as well. The bottom, we still have that crack, but it's now a lot less visible because the port actually fits properly. I've dremeled the port down to make sure that it sits inside the chassis. As you can see, that lip is no longer there. So it's really, really good news. Console charges both ways as well, which again is a result. It jumps all the way up to around about 700 milliamps. So it's fast charging. It doesn't have parental controls and does have 2 online games on the dashboard. But just to show you it working the other way as well. There we go. So today has been rather lucky. I've managed to fix a PlayStation 5 and also resurrect a Nintendo Switch Lite. Let's head over to Sally's spectacular spreadsheet. Lordy, 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 this is gonna feel good. So our total cost is £240. Parts, we spent nothing on the PlayStation 5. For the Nintendo Switch Lite, it's about £2 for the set of joysticks. The port itself, I'm gonna call £1. And M92T36, we're gonna go with about £7 because I buy them in bulk, giving us a total of £10 for the parts. Prices are still pretty much the same for the PS5 and the Switch Lite as what I've done previously. The Nintendo Switch Lite will sell for around about £100. And for the bundle that we've got for the PS5 with all the cables and the controller, I honestly think we'll get somewhere around about £320. I will put on the listing as well, it smells like smoke, because I don't want somebody getting excited for it and then they open it up and they go, oh, it smells. For that factor, I'll say £300. So our sale price is £400, giving us a gross profit in today's video of £122 and 40p. Let's go. We take that 122, we put it in our profit column, and it gives us a total profit of still under, but a lot better, minus £66.22p. We're so close to getting back into that green margin. I'll leave the last episode of the series up here. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.